Today we're going to discuss the power of gratitude. I was recently having a conversation with a dear friend of mine, and they asked me, what is one of the most powerful tools that I've found in my own journey of self-awareness? And that was a tough question to answer because over the years, there are points that you reach where one new idea, one new tool will make a quantum leap for you in your growth. So I wanted to answer the question honestly. And the one word that just kept coming up was gratitude. It didn't seem like a big deal, but as I looked at it more, I realized, yeah, that was a very, very powerful tool because when I first started my journey of self-awareness, I was a mess. Some of you are familiar with my history from other videos. Let's just say that when I started, I was not the person that's sitting here today. I had no resources available to me by choice. I was an angry young man. That's pretty much where I lived most of my life. I didn't know anything about emotions. There's a whole other discussion we can have on emotions versus beliefs. People would ask me what I was feeling. I couldn't answer. I thought I pretty much flatlined. If something good happened, I might vary a little bit. If something bad happened, I thought I was cool at dealing with bad situations, but people around me told me differently. And in time, I found that the main emotion, the place that I spent most of my time, was in the emotion of anger. Now, you may know someone who lives like that. They don't deal well with situations when they're confronted with them, when life throws a curveball their way. They don't respond well because they don't have resources available. If you're in that emotion of anger or frustration or rage, you have very limited tools available to you. I had very limited tools available to me. And being one of those people at that point, I never realized it. I didn't realize, as Tony Robbins says, people do the best they can with the resources they have. When you're an angry person, you don't have resources. You've got one. Anything that comes at you, fight it. So when I started this journey of self-awareness, I had people around me who were trying to get me to take a better look at myself. Self in self-awareness was not part of the process. This was other people shining a spotlight on me going, take a look at this. And one of the things they kept asking me was, what are you so angry about? I'm not angry. Yes, you are. What are you so angry about? And they kept hammering me with this. I had a circle of literally 20 people sitting around me on a hot seat in the middle, and every one of those 20 people continuing to ask me, what are you so angry about? Till I got angry and exploded. I said, you want to know why I'm angry? Here's why. And I went off on a rant. I can't even tell you how long it went, but it was the first time that I realized I was angry at everything. I was angry at my family. I was angry at God. I was angry at anything that was going on, I was angry about. And they left me rant until I got it all out of my system. And then they started asking me some different questions. And I was stubborn. I was very stubborn. They said, we can appreciate you're being angry because of these things that have happened to you. But let's look at something different. What could you be grateful for? Nothing. I just explained to them everything that was wrong in my life. What did I have to be grateful for? One of them suggested, well, you woke up this morning, other people didn't. And they tried it in a humorous way. And my response was, the one who woke up, or the one who didn't wake up, they're the lucky ones. They don't have to deal with all this crap. I was starting to get a very good look at how angry of a person I was through their help. And I thank them for that today. And they kept asking me. They hammered. And they gave me some of the things that today, it's almost embarrassing to say they had to point out to me for me to start shifting from that place of anger into a place of being grateful. They said to me things like, you woke up this morning and you could see. Other people will never see the face of their loved ones. The only color they'll see is black. They said, you woke up this morning and you could hear that music that you love so much. Some people will never get to experience. And they were good at what they did because they kept hammering with these little things. You know, you woke up this morning and you were able to walk. You may only have one leg to stand on, but some people don't. They never get out of their bed or out of the wheelchair. And I started feeling like a very selfish bastard. And I started learning that I did have things to be grateful for. So they gave me one of the first tools to use, which was called a gratitude list. They suggested that I go back to my room and I sit down and I start making a list of things to be grateful for. And they said, and if you don't feel grateful, ask yourself, if you weren't so stubborn, what could you be grateful for? That little shift in the question made a huge difference because I was able to come up with quite a long list. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I made one gratitude list and I shifted from being an angry bastard to a happy person for the rest of my life. No, I spent too many years being angry. But I was given a tool that I used daily because I was committed to making a change. Every day when I got up and I felt that anger swirling around me, I would sit down and go, okay, what am I grateful for? And I can't tell you how many days the first response was, nothing. And then I would change the question to, okay, if I wasn't so stubborn, what could I be grateful for? And I would use that same list that they hammered me with. I would say, you know what? I can see this morning. I can hear, I can taste, I can smell, I can just on and on and on down the list until I started finding other things to be grateful for. I still use that tool today. Even though I speak about this often, I teach it, I've practiced these things for over 20 years now, life still throws curveballs. And I still have choices of how I can react. I can react with frustration, I can react with anger. And sometimes I do. I'm not in the most resourceful place in the world. And one of the tools that I know that I can always go to is I can stop myself and go, okay, what do I need to do to get myself out of this place? I need to get in a more resourceful emotional state. Again, when you're in that place of anger, I don't know. Maybe you had the experience yourself, or maybe you've seen other people that if they're angry, you can't get them to see any other perspective. They only have one, and it's the one they're fighting against. You know, learning to become more self-aware, learning to find ways to be positive is not about just going, the world is fine and I'm a happy person. It's about being able to be more resourceful in dealing with some of the hits that life gives you. Maybe you just lost your job. Maybe someone close to you just died. Maybe a relationship that was really important to you just ended. Even in the worst of times, you can still find something to be grateful for. So for me, that was one of the most powerful tools in my toolkit that I still use today. And I want to share it with you. It's called a gratitude list. When things aren't going the way that you want them to, or when you feel like you're getting beaten down and you need to find a way to be more resourceful, be able to deal with it more effectively, sit down, grab a pen and a paper, and make a gratitude list. Actually, do it right now just to experience what it feels like, because you will notice a difference in how you look at the world when you do this. So grab a pen and a paper right now and ask yourself, what can I be grateful for? Write it down. And if you're a stubborn bastard like I was, go, all right, if I wasn't so stubborn, what could I be grateful for? Make a list. Keep asking. Keep going until you feel that emotion shift. And then look at some of the problems in your life and ask yourself how you can deal with them at that point. It's a valuable tool. It's worked tremendously for me over the years. I look forward to hearing how it works for you. Look forward to your feedback. We'll see you again soon. Take care. For a transcription of the video you just watched, more videos, and related articles, visit yourdailylifecoach.com. To comment on this video, select Discussion Forums on any page of our website.